A fully AI built game. What could possibly go wrong?
So the topic of AI is something that we're going to have to discuss. It's something that we do have to contend with, whether we like it or not, because the technology is probably here to stay. It's not going anywhere for good or for bad. And what makes AI so scary is how powerful it is. On one hand, a
Yeah, we already know all of that. Thank you.
powerful tool also means that it can do a lot and help certain processes, and when used for good, can do a lot of great
Is this like Spider-Man's uncle telling him about the responsibility of power or something?
things. But when bad actors get their hands on it, you never know what they could do with that. With AI in particular,
Uh-huh.
for example, there are plenty of people highlighting how there's a lot of deep fake stuff happening, both in terms of imagery and in terms of audio, where they replicate people's likeness in terms of voice and face and create all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of ultra realistic sounding audio or looking images that can pave the road to a lot of misinformation. And there are plenty of people arguing for the fact that AI just essentially learns by stealing other people's work and outputting its own version based on that kind of conglomeration. But on the other hand, there's an
But when an artist steals another artist's work, that is considered inspiration.
argument to be made for how, when AI is used appropriately and leveraged properly, it can be a powerful tool in the workplace where artists, for example, can utilize it to make certain processes that would be tedious a lot more efficient. But then, no doubt, there are, entities like corporate heads aiming to look into the possibility
I hate artists. Fuck all of them. I don't care what happens to them. Fire them all.
of reducing the workforce and making game development cheaper by replacing workers with AI and allowing
If they replace artists, I'm completely fine with that. Let those arrogant, self-centered shits just get what they deserve. Oh, look at me, I'm an artist. You wouldn't understand it because you're not an artist. Oh, I'm so special, I'm an artist. No, no. An AI is not going to replace a single good artist. The reality is, as any innovation, it's going to do the same thing. All the people who are the worst at whatever it is are going to be replaced. The people who are actually good artists and respectable will not get replaced. It's only going to be the shitty furry drawing artists that are going to be replaced. And that's it.
automated processes to handle human artistic work. And that's kind of the thing that we don't want. And so a lot of questions and a lot of unknowns about this new era that we live in as AI begins to become normalized and commonplace. Now, one company decided to do an experiment revolving around can generative AI actually make a whole game by itself and replace workers and artists? And this is something
Well, needless to say, the answer to that is no. AI is not at that level where it can do that, but maybe someday it will. Probably soon it will be able to do that, but not at the moment. Because remember, every AI that gets made gets wokeified at some point because, reasons. Oh, wow.
something that New Salad Game Developer.com covered. And fortunately, currently, the answer to that question is a resounding no. As the headline here reads, Keywords tried to make a game using Gen AI, but said the tech was unable to replace talent. And so this is the information that we know about that whole situation. So for those who don't know, Keywords is a pretty well-known studio that has worked on games like Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, offering support and the like. Obviously, they're not the main studios behind those games, but they do offer some development support.
Never heard of them.
And recently, as part of this experiment and research and development initiative, they tried to make a 2D video game relying solely on generative AI tools and technology. This was a project dubbed Project Ava. And what the project ultimately proved in the current stages of where this technology is at is that it's unable to replace talent. This was all done over the course of 6 months. This was a 6-month long process. And throughout it, they identified over 400 tools and they evaluated and utilized those with the best potential. Despite this, they ultimately utilized bench resource from 7 different game development studios as part of the project, as the tooling was unable to replace talent. And then this is a direct quote from them, their conclusion on this experiment. One of the key learnings was that whilst Gen AI may simplify or accelerate certain processes, the best results and quality needed can only be achieved by experts in their field utilizing Gen AI as a new powerful tool.
Keep in mind, experts, which means 99% of people are relevant, honestly, already. Hey, can AI do the job that some kind of loser who is getting paid way more than he is worth? Yeah, 100% in my opinion already. AI is gonna absolutely slay that part. But again, AI is not your enemy unless you're shit at your job. If you are shit at your job, congratulations. AI is the enemy.
In their creative process. That's kind of the conclusion that people were hoping for. The fact that we're even asking the question of, can artists be replaced so that robots can automate art is already...
Yes, artists can be replaced by robots. That's not the question. The game probably did not fail because the art was bad by the AI. It failed because of everything else.
Kind of scary, but at least it's good to hear that in this experiment, it was kind of proven that without the human component, art just isn't as good. AI can do many impressive things, but there's something about, the soul of a human being, or whatever you want to call it, their memories, their life experiences, and who they are
I don't think communists have souls.
Uniquely as human beings, that makes art possible, that makes art have a certain unique voice and message. You don't get Hideo Kojima games from AI. You know what I mean? If anything, Hideo Kojima goes against all logic of what a video game should be if you want to, maximize monetization, if you want to maximize sales and whatnot. He recently...
What does that have to do with video games?
Made a game about delivering packages and forming connections with people, which is the complete opposite of the competitive type multiplayer games that tend to generate a lot of money and that tend to draw mass audiences. Kojima made his own art through his own voice, and you don't get that with robots without the kind of depth and breadth of life experiences that Kojima had, without his unique mindset, without his unique way of thinking as an artist. That's what makes art art. It's the...
If you're gonna say that for creating something good you need an extremely unique mindset, first of all, I don't agree with that in general. You being special, being unique doesn't mean that you're useful, okay? You can have a special spoon that has holes in it. It's special, but it's not functional, okay? Being special doesn't mean that you're useful. This is a completely unique example with Kojima and whatnot, but still, if we're talking about being unique, well then AI is unique because we can't understand what it does, why it does it in a lot of cases. So I can imagine that something that we can't even understand why it does things and whatnot could potentially then succeed at this. So, yeah, this is probably the worst way to formulate his idea that you can possibly come up with.
A human component. Hell, I mean, think about the innovation of Soulsborne titles and how back when that genre wasn't normalized, how it went against all of the kind of game design mentalities that you would have when it comes to what makes a game appealing. It almost sounded unappealing until people tried out this kind of genre and experience that FromSoft came up with through their unique experiences as developers, with a unique identity that stems...
This sounds extremely stupid and glorifying for no reason. Hard games had existed before Dark Souls, but Dark Souls pioneered that certain type of third-person hard games. Bruh.
From the fact that there are human beings who came together collectively towards a common goal with a common mindset and mentality, with leaders who have a certain vision of the kinds of games that they want to make as unique human beings and artists. They came up with this thing that, like, AI would probably be like, we probably shouldn't make a game like this because it is not in accordance to the algorithm that says that people want to play a game.
But what if you tell the AI that it should ignore that part of the algorithm? What?
like this. But the thing is, when humans are involved, they can experiment in ways that it's not about what is
Do you think he's just scared because he's gonna lose his voice acting garbage gig that he got because he's a YouTuber?
algorithmically correct. It's about
Remember when he said that if Mr. Beast wanted to be a voice actor, he couldn't? Because that's not how voice actors work. No one gets to do a job because they are, a publicly known figure. Bro, games that EA probably would redo GTA 6's male voice actor to Mr. Beast if he said that he wants to do it, okay? Oh man, I can't.
trying things that they feel passionate about and that might resonate with others, and then suddenly a new genre is born and people are engaging in imitation is the best form of flattery, essentially, by creating their own souls likes. And it's like, if AI is involved in making
So AI is flat. So it should be flattering that AI takes your job because it imitates you. Well, doesn't that count? I'm so confused.
games, can they make genre breaking or game design sort of evolving or genre creating experiences like this that feel so human in the way they came to life, if that makes sense? Like, even if AI could output a functional video game, one has to wonder what kind of video game that would be, and if it would be able to think outside the box and create experiences.
Yeah, when you have a hypothetical nothing and that nothing can be everything, you have to wonder what that something would be.
That have become highly successful because they're unique and are not following the trends that many like AAA games and
Didn't
publishers
sneeze.
tend to.
I
The
hold it.
stuff like that indie games can produce, that it's just so wildly unique in their creativity that you don't know how they came up with this stuff.
99.9% of indie games are absolute garbage, okay? Actually, we have recently talked about this a lot. Let me Google something. How many indie games get made a year? Let's see. Aha! Yeah, so, in 2023, 14K indie games were made. In 2022, 12.2, 2021, 11, yeah. So, yeah. Roughly less than 1% of indie games are actually good, not complete garbage. It is what it is.
And can machines, can something automated like AI and generative AI, can they think like that? I don't believe that's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure AI can make a really shit game if you ask it to, because most indie titles are. Dude, some people refuse to accept the idea, by the way, that indie games, most of them are bad. Bro, most indie games are bad. The reason you think most indie games are good, by the way, if you think like that, is the same reason why you think all of the old movies are good, or why all the songs from the 2000s are good. It's because all the bad shit is completely forgotten and thrown out the window, and everyone only remembers the good stuff. Again, 13K games, indie games, came out last year. How many of them can you even name? How many of them can you actually call good? Yeah, probably none. And if you can name one that's good, that's probably the one that was the standout.
Ever gonna be the case, because AI just doesn't know what it's like to live and to be human and to have those experiences and to have those powerful.
We don't know what it means to be human. Philosophers are still arguing that. I can't explain what it means to be human. No one can really explain what it means to be human. What the fuck do you even mean?
Moments and memories in life that make you go, okay, like, I have a perspective, I have something to say that I feel like nobody else has said, and so I want to make something through some medium, whether it is a book or music or movies or games, whatever it is, to say what I have to say. And what would be the point of art if they were no longer made by humans? Art is so much about expression, and what do you express?
Some people call nature art. I call nature art, by the way. I love nature. I love the stuff that you can see in nature. A human did not make that. There you go.
Seeing when there's no human behind a piece of art. You know what I mean? What is it trying to say? It's probably not going to say anything. It's not really going to speak to anyone. It's going to be just a product for people to consume with nothing sort of deeper underneath that surface layer. And so, you know, I really hope that this is kind of the conclusion.
I think this is funny.
That remains, not just today, but in the future. I think AI being used as a tool that can simplify or accelerate certain processes, that's all well and good. If it allows an animator to realize their vision, but do it faster and more efficiently, but it's still their vision. If it allows a creator to...
But how is it their vision if they didn't make it? They just... Okay, so this is fundamentally where the argument completely is nonsensical. If you have an AI and and the AI makes something, it's not art. But if you have an AI and you ask it to make something and it makes something, that is art because you asked it to make something. But you didn't know what it makes. It didn't make what you thought it will make. It made something different. So how the fuck does this count? None of this makes sense, Yong. Anyway, we're done. This is Quizzer Sid saying, oh, wait, we almost completely forgot the Yong out.
Updated on all things gaming,
news, discussion. Stay tuned right here. YongYea.
I'll see you guys
next time.
YongYea.
Woo! Yeah, that's it, boys. Getting better and better by the day. This was Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.